When it comes to giving out and making up lore for your campaign, over on this video on TikTok, Say You Want to Be a DM talks about alternative ways to dump lore than just your usual like exposition, and it reminded me of what my favorite thing to do is in relation to lore. If a player makes like an Arcana check, a History check, religion, like they want to just know something about something. I've been in a lot of campaigns where like a DM might be like, all right, make me this check, and then you roll particularly low, and they're like, all right, you don't know anything, and you move on. Or you roll high and they give it to you and you move on. My favorite thing to do whenever there's any sort of information check is you are always going to get, even if it's a natural one, you are going to get baseline knowledge. Especially if I'm asking for it as it pertains to like important knowledge, you're always going to get something. And then depending on how well you do above the DC, I will then ask you, let's say you get 20 on a DC 15. I'm going to give you 2 additional questions that you can ask. Or sometimes, again, depending on the context, what else do you know about it? And allow the players to establish and sort of leave their own little fingerprint on the campaign, on the lore, adding in a little detail they know. Or if they roll low, you might say 2 questions, and what they get is wrong. But they believe it. As a player, those are really, really, really fun things to be able to play with or to think about. And the same thing with, hey, go ahead, make up 2 or 3 things that you can now communicate to people thinking and that might potentially spread rumors, might spread some misinformation until someone who actually knows is able to correct you. As a player and having seen my players do it, adding that mechanic into information checks have made things like Arcana and History and Religion so much more fun and so much more interesting than they normally are.